St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are read and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. You are live with the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. We're sorry we're coming to you a little late this evening. We had a little technical difficulty, but we are sorted out and ready to have some fun this evening. For those of you who joined us, we know you've been following online. We've been keeping you read and ready and up to date with everything that's going on with the party. So today, I beg my friend to come join me so we can have a little bit of fun with a game we're going to be calling Facts, Truth, and You. Think of it like a candid date with the candidates. All right. So we're going to begin today. As you know, I am Naima, and this is my co-host.
Hi, I am Julie Charles. Of course, you know me from Mind, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM. And it is my pleasure to be here with you this evening. We are not going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have lots of fun. Because you know what? We want you to see the candidates just a little relaxed. So stay tuned. We are going to tell you everything about this game. Get your pens, get your books. You're going to write down the candidates. You're going to write down their contestants, their names, and you're going to start to score them. Let's see who wins this game tonight.
Let's see. So let me tell you where we're going to begin this evening. Now, you might be at home saying, what are you talking about?
I know, right?
Are you really trying to come up with things to keep us entertained? Yes. We really are always trying to find ways to engage you. And tonight, it's going to be with this fun game show. So it's going to be 3 categories in the game show. The first category is called just true or false, which is pretty straightforward. You know, we're going to ask a few true or false questions. The candidates are going to pop in, but it's the propaganda edition. Dun, dun, dun.
Da, da.
So you know you're at home and you're like, Lord, I always wanted to know if that was true, that propaganda. This will be your chance to hear it. Our second segment is going to be called Fishing for Answers. And we're going to have some light-handed banter with the candidates where they'll answer some personal questions and some political questions for you. And in our third segment, yes, this segment is all about you. As you heard, the show's called Facts, Truth, and You, and it's going to be called You Said It, where we'll be taking questions from online and comments and just interacting with you live, which is going to be so much fun. I've been waiting for this for a few times. So we're going to take a break for a second while we wait and get ready with our candidates and set up the stage. And while we're taking a break, get your cup of tea or your drink, if that's what you're into, a little toast, a little biscuit, whatever it is that makes you comfortable, prop up, and let's have some fun tonight playing on our candidate with the candidates, Facts, Truth, and You.
Yeah.
The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are read and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are read and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you.
All right. We are back. So I hope you have those biscuits, your cheese, your tea, a little bit of alcohol, something. Get those pens, get those papers. We are about to start our game tonight. So tonight we have 3 starting contestants. Here with me tonight is Leon Winning Natter Nelson. Mr. Nelson. All right. Say hello to the people.
Of course, good evening to the people of St. Kitts Nevis. It's your starting point guard for the Next Gen SKN team, Leon Natter Nelson.
And look at the shoes, people. He is serious. He is going to make sure that he wins tonight. All right? He's going to set up his play. He's going to put those 3-pointers in. We are going to have it tonight. All right. So next up is Kenny Douglas, His Excellency. His Excellency, introduce yourself to the people and tell them why you are winning this game tonight.
And fighting out of the blue corner, you have Kenny Douglas from Sandy Point Stadium, you to be exact.
All right. Okay, we got a little rivalry here. I like this. But last and no means least, do not for 1 minute sleep on His Excellency Steve Rensford. Mr. Rensford, tell them how you're going to win this game tonight.
Good night to all who are listening. And as last night I said, the top dog is in the house. So coming out from the red corner, the top dog.
People, who you betting on? 1, 2, or 3? Let's get those points going. So, we're going to do a true and false. I'm going to read the statement. They're going to tell me whether the statement is true or false and why. Now, I know they're going to get a little excited because I've already started the environment. You know, they're all competitive now. But I don't want everybody to jump off. So they have to say, I read and I'm ready. And then I know they're ready to answer the question. All right? So first question, gentlemen. Are you red and ready?
Red and ready.
Wonderful. First question. 20,000 passports were issued to criminals and known terrorists, leading to the suspension of the visa-free travel to Canada.
Red and ready.
Red and ready. His Excellency, Kenny Douglas. Answer. What is the answer, sir?
Red and ready.
You lose.
True. False.
False. Why is it false? Yes.
The suspension of the visa-free travel to Canada happened under the Labour administration. No Labour administration will issue any passport to 20,000 criminal and whatever else you have mentioned.
Now, I want to make the disclaimer. These statements have been pulled from the news items that are out there in the websites, on the Facebooks, and even from media houses. So we're not making these things up. These are actually real statements. All right? So we have 1 point for His Excellency Steve Ransford. His Excellency Kenny, I'm so disappointed. You jumped up. You were so excited. I expected you to get that 1 point.
There's no bonus point?
Yeah. We gonna work on that. and Mr. Point Guard with those wonderful fancy shoes. What happened?
I'm just letting me get a head start. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Simple.
That sounds like a plan. All right. Number 2. Douglas is a citizen.
Red and ready. Okay. Red and ready.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you say it twice. Red and ready.
No. The answer is no. I say red and ready. No.
Mr. Winston again.
No. He didn't give an answer. Let me give an answer now. Let me give an explanation.
So I gotta split the point in two?
No, well, we'll
so
work.
Half and half?
We'll work on that.
So I gotta split it in 3 now. No, I'm making this.
Okay. The explanation is that at no given time did any court, even the review of the judgment, no time that the court ever said that Douglas was a citizen of Dominica. So there you have it. That's the perfect explanation. Douglas is a citizen of St. Kitts Nevis, and he's the leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party.
Okay.
That is all you need to know.
So you see, I gonna have to split this in 2.
Yes.
I have to split it in 2.
Give him a quarter. I'll take 3/4.
Oh, you're so generous.
That's 1/3 and 1/3. I would like to say something to get 1/3 also.
All right, so we go see if you could get the 3rd.
Yes, I want to agree with my friend over here. So you get your 3rd. My 3rd now is I want to let the people of St. Kitts and Nevis know that Douglas never ever held a citizenship, as a matter of fact, for Dominica. I want the people to know that in our Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, we had a number of different leaders of the opposition. All were given diplomatic passports. All were given. Our Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas was the Prime Minister for this federation for 20 long years. Now he is the opposition leader. He deserved the right to own a diplomatic passport. And because the great, his name is Mr. Skerritt, the Prime Minister of Dominica, him and his other colleagues, the leaders of the Caribbean, they knew Douglas was such a leader that all of them look up to, that they gave him the privilege of holding a diplomatic passport to ease travel when he's moving around this world. And so, to me, what it is really, the present Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis should be ashamed of himself to have a Prime Minister, a leading Prime Minister, not just here in the Caribbean, but in the world, and try to prevent him from moving freely through this world by not allowing him to get a diplomatic passport.
While we thank Kenny for that explanation, I would like the 1 point, please. Thank you very much.
1/3.
Listen. All right, my people. I'm going to leave this point sharing to you. I am just the moderator now, but in my humble opinion, I think it's a third, and a third. Just my humble opinion, by the way.
Good.
So I'm going to leave it up to the people who are watching to score. Now, when you are finished scoring, put those scores in our lives. We want to see how you scored your candidates. We might just answer you tonight. All right, are you guys ready? We have the 3rd one. Labor plans or intends to fully legalize marijuana.
Red and ready.
Well. Yes. His Excellency.
Yes.
You are out of the box. You are down the road. You are round the corner and up the hill. Talk to me. Yes, and why do you say yes?
The time has come for us to look at using the marijuana for medicinal purposes.
All right.
There's also a segment or sector of our nation, people who use marijuana for religious purposes. We cannot deny persons their religious belief. And so to have a holistic approach to the legalization of marijuana, all these factors must be taken in place. And the Labour Party will address all of that in the, when we take office, comes the 5th of June, when we take all 8 seats, we sit down and craft legislation to ensure that all our people benefit from the marijuana.
I just want to add, from the recent judgment, I don't remember the Rastaman's name, but he was taken to Sankofa, right. With that judgment recently, where the judge indicated that marijuana can be used in their spiritual realm and in their practices. That's a step in the direction that we ought to go, understanding that the herb, it has far more uses than just what the perception is. You know, I think the marijuana can be used in a more controlled way, in a more helpful way. And so we ought to now, especially with the religious aspect of it, respect the use of marijuana and further the move towards the legalization of the marijuana. I think it's about time, and the Labour Party, the next gen Labour Party, will ensure that we put that process into place.
Wonderful. I'm wondering if I'm going to split this point in half.
Thirds.
I gave you facts. I gave you hardcore evidence.
You did.
A precedent that was said. So.
But you were second.
Wow, this judging is difficult.
And
People at home, listen to me.
we are having an appeal, my people.
Give me my points. Thank you very much.
We're having appeal, people. We have an appeal. His Excellency?
Thank you very much. I was waiting to get my third.
I realize that. But the beauty about this is I'm the moderator, and so I don't get to score you. The people on the live will score you. So I can only give my humble opinion. Go right ahead, sir.
Just like the other countries that legalize marijuana, we are going to also take this step to legalize marijuana. I want to say, just like my colleagues, yes, that's why we are sharing the point. Third, that's right.
Wow.
It is time for us to use marijuana and use it as the medical purposes, all these things. The other countries have taken this step already, and we, right here in the Federation of St.Kitts Nevis, we need to take that step also. I want to say that there are many persons who are suffering from a number of diseases, a number of sickness, and we have heard Sankofa and the gentleman who always call and tell you the benefits that can be derived from using the marijuana as a medicine, and so. The next gen SKN Labour team, we are going to listen to the people. We read and we listen and we know the outcomes and of these things, and we are definitely going to take that step. So the Rastamen, those who use it, even though they're not Rastamen, they can be rest assured that we will not go and just say things. We are action men. The next gen SKN Labour team, we are action men. We are not talkers.
And women.
We will not, and women. We will not just talk, but we will act. We will do on what we say.
And you know what we have? We have Dr. Joe.
That's right.
Dr. Joe, who partnered or supported Sankofa in his endeavors, and Dr. Joe, who is a statesman, who will continue to fight and put out the information that is required for people to have belief in the legalization of marijuana. So again, people at home, I've given you more than you have asked for. Give me the scores, please.
Well. They're not making it easy for you. I am just the moderator. You have to score them. Is it 1 point to His Excellency, Steve Rensford? Or are you going to split the point in 3? Your choice. Make sure you are scoring now, because I want to know who wins, because I'm not picking the winner tonight. All right, so we are going to move to the next statement. Let's see if anybody can beat His Excellency Steve, who has come out of the box first so far. Labour plans to allow one...
Red and ready.
Red and ready.
Okay, so the point guard has come out the box first.
Right.
You mean you're going to subtract a point from him?
No.
for saying ready before you were ready.
Labour plans to. Let me finish. I could finish the sentence for you.
That's a good point. That's a good point. The question was not finished.
But we'll allow him to answer.
Okay, you allow him? Okay.
And
Point guard, we allow him.
my background is customs. I have that experience.
I realize that.
So come on.
Go right ahead.
That's a plus, So Labour plans to allow one duty-free vehicle for any child, any person who is over age 18 and above. And yes, that is because the Labour Party understands that it's not just the hierarchies of this country, it's not just the permanent secretaries of the country, it's not just the ministers of this country that ply their taxes and so on. So we are saying every individual, every citizen of this country deserves at least once in their lifetime, as long as they're over age 18, they deserve a duty-free vehicle of their choice. We believe in empowering people, giving people a chance. So therefore, the country is yours. Each of us benefit from it. So there should be equity across the table. So when you become 18 years of age, you should be entitled to at least one duty-free vehicle in your lifetime. Next question, please.
So these contestants are not making it very easy, and he just chopped off the other two because he wants his 1 point.
One is 1 point.
Next question.
But
Let's move on because we're playing kind of rough tonight.
No, you can't move on. Kenny and I have something to say.
But the question has been answered.
He forget the economics of the situation.
Let them know.
He's talking about his custom, but if the economy is not of such.
All right. We want the full picture.
Right. So custom is only one part of it. Right? We are talking about our next gen SKN plan. If you look at the big reveal, it fits smugly now in the upliftment of the Federation after the pandemic. And so something like the duty-free, one duty-free vehicle in a lifetime fits smugly now because many persons have not accessed that right now. So somebody who wants a vehicle and they have $45,000, $55,000, $75,000 to spend, they can go and buy the vehicle they want with that money and forget about duty. But in addition to that, you want now in our economy to have consumption being increased so that the other pillars of the economy also start to reverberate and have the oil going through them. So this little duty-free is really something that will help our economy in the long run. Because you're talking about more vehicles on the Federation, more tires are being sold, more parts are being sold, more gas is being sold, and you can go on. And the mechanics have more work to do.
That's right.
And so more trained mechanics because the vehicles are computerized. And so we have a holistic development of our Federation.
Thank you, Steve.
So you're cutting off Kenny now.
Yeah,
so
next
you
question.
want half. You want it busting through.
No. Next question, please.
So let me.
He's trying to say that the next question is for Kenny, so you can go right ahead to the next question.
Thank you. 1 point in that, thank you.
He was behind, so you can give him that one.
All right. If you guys are not having fun, let me tell you, you need to be having some fun. Are you scoring? Mine, I'm not scoring, eh? I'm telling you now, I'm not going to score. This is too hard for me to score. I'm supposed to be neutral. So we're going to move on to the next statement. The next statement is, Labour plans to allow housing allowance for the essential workers.
Yes,
Red and ready.
Red and ready.
Red and ready,
So
I
all
said
three
it.
of you cut me off now.
Yes.
You can't make no noise with Leon because everybody cut me off.
Yes.
So everybody's going to answer.
Yes. Can you go first? Since you said the question was for you, so I will allow you to go first.
That's why I
will allow you to go
sat
first,
back
Kenny,
here
because you
and
didn't
said
say anything,
nothing.
I love this. Friendly competition.
I want to first of all speak about essential.
Yes.
The word essential in this one is key. Very, very important. I want to say that all of us are very important. I want to talk about the pandemic. These persons, the frontline workers, the nurses, the fire officers, the police, these persons are working very, very hard, especially during the pandemic. When we are sleeping, when we are home relaxing, they are working hard. They are exposed to a lot of risk. And that is why the other night I talked about paying these persons for the risk that they are taking dealing with the pandemic. And of course, we are going to take it a step further. We want these people to know that we cherish them. They are very, very, very important to us. And so those persons who have to be renting houses and don't have their own houses, they are going to have first priority. We are going to make sure that these persons are well taken care of. We talk about the vehicle just now, and so it's not just houses, but we will provide vehicles and all of these things. So these persons will be well taken care of. We will really look at them for what they are called essential, important people. So I want them to know that they will be well taken care of.
Wonderful. Who's next?
Good answer, Kenny. But I want to continue from. A lot of times we say essential workers and we forget the orderly, the cleaners, the maids, and so on. They are also essential workers, and they're very important for to the functioning of the professionals in the medical area. So those two are essential workers, and we must. The time has come for us to really look at our essential workers. Just imagine when we had the lockdown and no garbage truck coming around.
That's right.
They too are essential workers, and we must concentrate on elevating our people. My thirst is to see my people elevated.
That's right.
And that's why every time I speak on the platform, I speak about number 4, because my thirst is to see number 4 rise, and by extension, St. Kitts and Nevis. So essential workers must be addressed in terms of getting some lift, because the minimum wage, the small salary, cannot help them. They have children, they have rent to pay, they have mortgage to pay, they have this to pay, and so on. So we have to assist those persons. And so the next gen SKN team will ensure that essential workers are looked after.
All right. So my people, I have one.
Do I get any sympathy?
Oh my goodness. Point guard, I am so sorry.
Okay, no problem.
You shared your point with the other two. Yeah. I have to give you the option to share your point, to get a point.
Really, no, you know what?
This is a democracy.
You see,
this is a democracy. Are we going to have a vote? Are we going to?
You see, I sense a team up kind of thing going on. But
so they're banging you now.
No, Mike. This is 4 and 5, eh? So I sense a little team up thing going on. But my colleagues are so right. Yes, my colleagues are so right. When we put this agenda together, what we did in last December, we decided to put the housing allowance and many more for the nurses and the other essential workers, because we understand, we care. And look at it from a different perspective now. Look at how these essential workers' lives are so difficult. Having to maintain a family, working long hours, shift system, odd hours, and so sometimes they go without being recognized. We just celebrated Nurses Day. And it touched my heart to hear one nurse said, sometimes all we need is a thank you. Just to let us know that we are being appreciated of the work that they go out every day to make our lives better.
That's right.
The security go out every day to ensure that we are safe in this country. And for God's sakes, it takes next gen SKN to show you love, to show you care, to show you compassion, to empathize with you, to show you that we want you, not because you're a civil servant or anything else, but we want you to advance yourself in this country just like anyone else. And we are appreciative of the work that you do for all the citizens of St. Kitts Nevis. So I think I should get some sympathy or empathy votes on that, but you'll be the judge.
Well, actually, I'm not the judge.
Okay.
So what I would say
to
people,
you...
That's right.
People.
Straight at the camera.
We understand. Number 7 understands. Vote Nata. Give me extra points. Please.
All right.
Nata, I think what you're doing now, you're going to win in number 7. You can beg good.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that begging should bring you the extra votes.
I'm asking.
To make sure we get rid of that dictator.
Okay.
Okay?
I love that.
All right, my people, so we're winding down in this particular section of the game show. I have one more statement to make. What it looks like to me is that they're almost neck and neck. Again, I am not scoring. You are scoring. So you will have to tell us who's won this section. All right, so my last statement. True or false? Labor plans to bring in flights and cannot win without the
Red and
overseas.
ready.
Red and ready.
All right,
Not true.
not true. Why is it not true?
We are responsible people. We are a responsible party. But if this government believes that given what the situation of the pandemic, and we had 15 cases, there are no cases, all cases have recovered. The place is still in lockdown, but you see what is happening. They have gone to ZIZ and have taken over ZIZ as their platform to spread their propaganda. And so they're giving the country the sense that the country is still reeling from the pandemic. But in the meantime, my sense is, and what I'm hearing, is that they plan to bring in people. They plan to bring in people on the verge of the election, like the third or the second of the thing. And so at that time, when they bring in their people, we will not have time to bring in our people. But the question is whether the government is really truthful about the pandemic. And so we are a responsible party, and we are not going to give our people any undue exposure.
All right.
Not going to give our people any undue
Yes,
exposure. So
Let me
the
answer
propaganda
that.
is to make people believe that we want to expose persons to the pandemic from hotspots.
All right.
That is their intention. But it's a lie.
Okay.
The same deception from inception and from the time to take government. It's deception to the people all the time. This government has to go. Has to go. Our people need to be relieved of the nonsensical nature of this government. So not to go ahead.
Okay, so let me answer the question now. We're coming in stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? We're coming in stronger than ever. Me and my neighbor voting for Labour.
Right.
So whether they bring flights or not, we're beating them on the ground. We're ready and we're ready for the elections.
right.
That is plain and simple. We're ready and ready for the elections. Don't worry. We will take care of the elections no matter how they are. It's unfortunate and it's really sad that we, the people of St. Kitts Nevis, have to vote on a state of emergency. A state of emergency which takes away your rights, your right to life, your right to associate. Under the state of emergency, this government, if they perceive that you're prejudiced against them, they have the right to detain you. They have the right to deport you. That is what is happening under a state of emergency. And so, the people of St. Kitts are ready. The comrades of St. Kitts are ready. Everybody is ready to get rid of this government. So we're saying we're stronger than ever, and we're ready for the elections. That is the answer to that question.
All right.
One more vote, please.
Red and ready.
Yes.
Definitely, the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, we are ready. We have been calling for the bell about how many years now? Yes, we have been calling for the bell since 2015. Immediately after election, we are calling for the bell. And so we want them to know whether or not people come in or not, we are going to win the elections. We are ready. The present government, what they are doing right now is to giving a lot of propaganda, lies upon lies. There is a gentleman who will be running against me. His mantra is no gimmicks and no chicks. But I want to say to the people of constituency number 5 and St. Kitts Nevis, all that we are getting are all gimmicks and all chicks. All gimmicks and all chicks, and this is exactly what they are using. They want to make the people of St. Kitts Nevis think differently about the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. But I want them to know that we have a 98% literacy rate here in St. Kitts Nevis, and the young people, everybody in St. Kitts Nevis, they are following. They know what is going on right now in St. Kitts Nevis. So there are no gimmicks and no tricks, no deception, no lies. can prevent the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party from winning the election come next week, June 5th, 2020.
Let me add to that. No
right.
gimmicks, no tricks. Kenny giving Sean a lot of licks. Telling you.
And I want to add also, what I find with this government is very good at trying to distract us. And so they say, the spreading propaganda we want to bring in people, they try the tricks and so on. But in the meantime, they're trying to pad the list. They're trying to pad the list because they're transferring persons into their weak areas, right? They know they're going to lose in number 4. They know they're going to get licks in number 4. And in going to the list, I'm seeing them now adding some persons who have not been on the list before. But licks is licks and more licks because the people are fed up with the nepotism, the corruption, and the misappropriation. And every time I come on a platform, I'm going to speak because we must understand that in this country, we must not allow persons who have misappropriate people's money to go back in government. We have to stop it. You have to stop it. Your children are looking at you for guidance. And if you allow a man to go back in government who misappropriate his client's funds, and the common man, if he steals, he goes to jail. But this man is walking around beating his chest, and he's a thief. So that's what I want to end with.
All right. Now we've come to the end of this section of the game show. I hope you are keeping score. I want you to tell me who won. My contestants were fantastic. We're going to take a short commercial break and we'll be right back with section number 2. This is so exciting. I'm just waiting to see who won. Very great. See you soon.
The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are red and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our game that we've been playing today, A Candidate with the Candidates. That's what I'm naming it today. And I know you guys enjoyed our first section, True or False. I was in the back yelling, shouting. I don't know who you have to win, but whoever you have to win, let's see that online. So if you had, I'm going to start from 4, Steve in 4 to win. Let's see, hashtag Steve in 4. Steve was fantastic. I have Steve in 4 to win. Sorry, fellas. I'm sorry. Maybe you have Kenny in 5 to win. It might be Kenny. Is Kenny your winner? Is Kenny your winner? Or is it Nata in 7? Nata, of course, is the strongest competitor. He came out to win. If you guys are saying, you know he really is out there fighting for you because he was right out here fighting for every single point. And of course, we are now joined by Comrade Leader. I think he would have won that segment. If he had been on that segment. But we're moving into the next segment, which is called, the last segment was on propaganda, but this one is called Fishing for Answers, Life, People, and Politics. So we're going to have some questions with the candidates. Of course, we want you to know it is still quite light, and we're still having some fun. So we have 2 boxes here. There we go. I'd just like to point out, for those of you who are not aware, this segment is actually being produced by Young Labor. So for those of you who don't know, this segment in our entertainment today is being produced by Young Labor. So now, let me show you what we got here going. We got 2 boxes. There we go. We've got 1 box with some life questions and 1 more serious questions. And we're going to start with the first set of random questions for the candidates. Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
This isn't already, so you don't have to jump up on me, you know.
Okay, all right.
But you do get to sit next to me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, even though Steve did give me the compliment last week.
This is my advantage right now. They had the host the last time, and
Yeah.
somewhat of a double team is going on, but let's go.
See, but I feel you were really fast with the red and ready. But last time we were on the show, Steve beat you to the compliment. Where was the red and ready last
That
time?
was a scheduled lineup.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go with our first question, which is going to be for you, Kenny. Bum, bum, bum. We haven't yet unveiled the manifesto, but some people, I have to take down my mask. I'm so sorry. I'm glad he has his on. We haven't yet unveiled the manifesto, but some people are very concerned with the unveiling of your 6-pack. When can we expect to see it, Kenny?
Right now.
No, not now.
Wow. I want to say to the people of St. Kitts Nevis, I want to thank those persons, those millions of persons from the Caribbean, from St. Kitts and Nevis, from North and Central and South America, from Africa, from Europe, who joined me when I did my 30-day belly fat challenge. The objective of that challenge was to make sure that you burn the fat around your waist. I said during my show that most persons, you see them, legs are nice, arms are fine, face is fine, everything, and then you look by the belly, something is wrong there. That is why Kenny intentionally chose a belly fat challenge. But I can say to you, not just Kenny alone, Naima, but there are millions of persons from all over the world who today can boast of a 6-pack because of Kenny Douglas.
Yeah.
And I want to say to the people of constituency number 5, at the end of our 5 years in our first term, you will be boasting that Sandy Point is really SP where the best be, and a proud community again right here in St. Kitts Nevis.
Well, it's a live studio audience club.
We're still scoring?
Yeah. For a good answer, for a good answer. That was a good answer. He answered it. He gets a point. At the end, they still get to decide, but that is his point.
Okay.
And I actually think Kenny should get extra points because I believe that Kenny, everybody on the Labor team clearly took Kenny's exercise class because it's nothing but abs and fit up in here.
So next gen of the next gen.
The next gen of the next gen.
Okay, cool.
So I would want to know which of you has the best ab, though. I'm going to have to say it goes to Kenny.
I think is the comrade leader.
I do, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it's the senior Douglas. He's got the nicer abs, but what can we say? What we say? He's the elder statesman. All right. So we're gonna go with another light question.
Another light question.
All right, let's go with a light one here. All right. This one is for you, comrade leader. I'm interested to know this. What show are you currently watching on Netflix or TV these days? You have a series? Do you even watch TV, comrade leader?
No particular series.
I think your mic is.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
No particular series, but of course, occasionally, especially during the lockdown, the Prime Minister made sure that I had enough time to look at some movies.
To see some movies.
Yes.
Like when you're a kid and you see your teacher out and your teacher is doing things social and you're like, the teacher goes to the movies? I'm now looking at you like, Dougie watches TV? That's exciting. Well, anybody else have anything they're watching on Netflix?
I took the time to watch one of the greatest basketballers ever. I looked at the Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls.
I saw number 10 yesterday.
Trust me, it's marvelous, and the story of the whole team, but also the perseverance of Michael Jordan through his tenure throughout the basketball, and the impact he had made on his team and worldwide. Worldwide impact.
I think there's a valuable lesson in The Last Dance.
Yes.
Remember, the team was such a great team, but still the team got split up.
Right.
It
But
was
I
so
believe.
unfortunate. But when the team came back together,
the band was back together.
Fire.
But I do believe in everything that he said. You play until somebody beats you. That's at the end of the day, you go out as a champion.
it's drive.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a serious one out.
May I
because,
just mention that one of the movies that really caught my interest is Blind Spot. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, Blind Spot. Oh, that's a good
Reminded
one.
you of St. Kitts Nevis?
For those of you at home that do watch Blind Spot, you know what he's talking about.
It's corruption, really.
A lot of corruption, yeah, in Blind Spot. And you never quite know where it's coming from till the end there.
Exactly.
It's true. Okay, well, while I have you here and we're talking about a serious question, let me give one question I just pulled out of the red serious box here. Here we go. And it is a post-corona economic recovery question. It's a big one, but I know you can handle the big questions. The Land for Debt Initiative, SIDF, and the PEP program are just a few of the programs previously established by Labor to stabilize the economy through local and global shifts and crises. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, how will you do it this time?
I think the crises in particular that we have been through for some time, we had the economic and financial crisis of the 2008 year. Of course, we had the transitioning from the sugar economy to the services economy led by tourism. We were able, of course, to utilize the instruments that were available to us at that time, especially in recovery from the 2008 economic and financial crises. When, of course, we recognized how difficult it was going to be for us to transition the sugar economy, from the sugar economy as well, it became necessary to look very closely at the national debt situation. Apart from that, the national debt would have been impacted by a series of very devastating hurricanes that left the government of the day with very few choices. After devastation by the hurricanes, do we simply leave the infrastructure in a state of disrepair, or do we borrow money to ensure that the infrastructure was rebuilt, especially since we had already undertaken the path towards tourism development? With the economic and financial crisis, again, it prompted the near closure of the tourist industry, which we had just begun to seriously establish. And so again, it was important to go to the IMF. We undertook at that time a relatively small borrowing from the IMF. We took the decision that if we were to be able to manage our debt situation, it was going to be important to get into eventually what was called the Land for Debt Initiative, which was the mainstay of the debt restructuring exercise by the federal government. We came out of the situation very successfully. We were maybe one of the few countries in the world that were able to repay the IMF a substantial portion of the approved amount that was lent and borrowed by us. In fact, I believe at that time the news did reverberate around the world that we were one of the first countries that had in fact repaid or paid back to the IMF monies that we had not used, because we saw very clearly that we were not going to be able, there was no need to use that additional amount which was in reserve for us, especially in securing the transitioning the settlement of the debt at the commercial bank level, mainly the National Bank. When we left office, we had significantly reduced the debt from what was then about 170% of GDP to just about 70%. In other words, we also left in the Treasury close to $900 million, which was to be used in the repayment to the IMF of what we had actually utilized as the first and preliminary charge that was paid to us. So what happened in the end is that the government that succeeded us just simply used the money that we left there and paid what was earmarked to be paid to the IMF. Post-COVID, therefore, we've got the experience from that to handle the post-COVID economic development that we are now pursuing. We believe that one of the first things that we would need to do is to ensure that there is money available to the businesses. I think one of the complaints that you're having today from the business community, the businessmen, is that they just don't have cash. How are we to generate cash? Or how are we to ensure that the management of the economy will allow them enough cash to do their business? So that is going to be one of the important initiatives or cluster of initiatives that we will pursue. Of course, we are launching our manifesto tomorrow night, or is it Saturday night? Tomorrow is Saturday? No, tomorrow is Friday. We're launching it when? Tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow night. So at that time, I will go into greater detail as to what specific initiatives will be used to ensure that the businessmen have cash. They are starved of cash now, and it will be so for quite a while we are attempting to recover from COVID-19. We will also ensure that we attract investment in our country to generate jobs. In fact, I've begun to call Steve Jobs, because he will have a particular mandate to generate jobs, not only for the people of constituency number 4. I've also told Marcella the very same thing. The people in Central Bastia, the McKnight area, those in your road, they need jobs. And a lot of small business enterprises will be stimulated to advance themselves or start up those which are not yet started. We will also ensure that the CBI is restructured, redeveloped, advanced to the point where we would be able to bring it back to what it was before, the platinum standard of the Citizenship by Investment program. You would know that it was back in 2005 that we created the SIDF. The SIDF is going to be a very important tool against which the government will pursue its own policies of, again, providing cash for businesses which are starved and which need cash. I'll stop here. Yeah. They are now launching their manifesto. I don't want them to steal my ideas. I'll stop here.
Leave something for tomorrow.
Please, I would just like to point out, right, that I feel like Comrade Leader was watching this game, and he said, "I'm gonna answer this question in such a way that nobody else can come after me to answer any question." The point goes to Dougie, and there's not even points in this section. not even Pornata has an answer left. He was like, what can I add to that? That's a tough one. Thank you very much for that answer. I think that was...
You see what we are doing?
You more than covered it.
You see what we are doing? We gave him a chance because he wasn't here to get any points
that was
first,
so thoughtful. Well, I bet you I have a question that none of you can answer. What was in the last IMF report?
Oh, wow.
I get all the
You have us. You have us. Nobody knows.
I feel like I should win for that.
You take the point for that.
You can tell me?
Yeah, the contents of the report condemned this government.
Uh-huh.
That was the whole point.
Do you think that's why the report was kept back?
The report was kept back because it would have proven that all that Dr. Harris has been saying to us was fake, false.
Pure lies.
See,
Pure lies.
You should have got that question in the propaganda in the true or false section. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to a light one. That was a light one. Now you know. You got the answers that you were looking for. Okay. And because you know I don't like you to be left out, Nata, this question is for you.
Finally.
And so funny because we were just talking about Last Dance. I would like to know which basketball player, and I'm going to make it harder for you. Because I know if I made it the whole world, it's not that hard. Now I know you're a Bulls fan. Which basketball player on St. Kitts would you challenge in 1-on-1?
In the meantime, just take a look at the shoes for a minute. Just let me ponder a minute.
Can we take a moment for the shoes? Can we take a moment for the shoe cam, please? The shoe cam? You're looking at the shoes?
Right. Now, let me just run across. Let me get myself in my lab one moment for a minute. You see, I played basketball at the national level, at the national youth level. Yes. Yes, back in the day I did. I was a very good basketballer back in the day, Let me see. And I do have a couple gripes that I probably would have wanted to bring back up.
Okay.
But, I played against John L. Powell. I used to beat his...
Yeah, I
used to beat him back in the day when he tried to play basketball.
So that's what you're going to tell us one-on-one?
Marcel is probably going to do some beating for him this time around. But let's see. Right now, Glenn Ghost Phillips would have been nice. James Marty, but he's probably over the hill now, can't shoot a ball. But you know what? Let's do it this way. The inner city Mountaineer basketball team is the 2019 champions. So why not play against the top baller for my team in Troy Chasbo Thompson?
Okay.
So who was actually the MVP of the Scaba finals?
Wow, you really found a chance to boast your team at the same time.
Let's get game on, 1-on-1. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Troy. All right.
I want to let him know, though, that the SP Pride gave them a chance to win last time. I just
And he's
want him
giving
to
you a
do that.
chance to win today, Ken. He's giving you a chance today.
Actually, we just beat them. We just beat them bad. That's
Just
all.
beat them.
Yeah, that's all I have it.
We gave him a chance, just like how we gave Dr. Douglas a chance to answer just now. Also.
Yes. Just like we're giving somebody else a chance, so we'll see how that turns out for them. We gave them a chance too. Okay, so what was your favorite subject? This one's for you, Rensford. What was your favorite subject in school and why?
I used to love maths.
Really? Use your mic.
Yeah, I used to love maths. Maths was a favorite subject of mine, maths and history.
And history.
Yeah. I said I had it easier for history because I see myself as a revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
The way you read about the slaves, I mean, it used to really irk me. And when I read about people like Fidel Castro and Che Guevara and those, I wish I were in those areas. I'd have been a gorilla. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, I was very radical. Very, very radical. That's why it seems so calm. I'm very calm nowadays because I was very good in karate, and karate has trained me sufficiently to be calm and collective. So I'm very controlled because I have some very radical beliefs.
I'm learning some very new things about you this evening.
So I'm
Steve.
very
I'm learning
calm.
some new things. I'm learning.
See,
You listen to what
I don't argue with people because they get animated and then we touch one another. I can be very deadly. I'm telling you.
Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready for Steve, but Steve, he's ready and ready for you.
We're going to deal with Grant.
Grant
There
is
we
not
go.
ready for
Grant is
Steve.
not ready for
Grant
Steve.
is not ready.
That's why it is Steve for sure
Steve
in
is
number
ready,
4.
ready. Here we go. This next question is a series of a more political question in life and politics. It's on an area that is close and near and dear, I know, to your heart, because I used to work with you at Washington Archibald High School. I remember you were a very dedicated PE teacher. How will Labor address young people's concerns about scholarships, sports, and ensuring access for all to a high-quality school experience?
Wow, I love that question. You know why? I came here this evening just from visiting a number of persons, and that's exactly what we were discussing. Scholarships, the young people, the youth of the Federation of St.Kitts Nevis, who are our priority and will be the priority of the next in SKN. I want the young people to know those persons who are in sports, whether it is basketball, football, cricket, netball, just call it, just name it. Scholarships, hundreds of scholarships will be here provided for you. Whether it will be in Cuba, Europe, North America, you can be rest assured that scholarships going to be here for you. I also want to mention that we launched the Sports Academy just a few months ago. And the young people also can look forward for our Sports Academy that will help people here locally and also regionally and internationally, because the persons from the nearby islands, they can come over and learn and have classes within our Sports Academy. I want to say that very, very, very soon we will have a number of Kim Collins, because the Sports Academy will help us to push people into the Olympics. Okay? I also want to mention our indoor sports facility. This will be made a reality after the 5th of June 2020 when we win the elections. I want the basketballers. What is the name of your team? Inner City.
Inner City Conquerors.
The SP Pride. The St. Paul's Tough Nuts. All of the basketball clubs here in St. Kitts Nevis, that they could be rest assured that with the next SKN Labour team, Kenny Douglas as your Minister of Sports will ensure that you have your indoor facilities where not just basketball, but the volleyball and the netball and the futsal and the handball, our new sport that we just introduced. You will have a chance to play these sports in a new indoor stadium. So when rain falls, no longer you will see games postponed, suspended because of these things. We will make sure that this becomes a reality. And even during the carnival season, we can use our indoor stadium also to host the Miss St. Kitts and our Calypso show and everything. So
So it doesn't rain on our good hair anymore.
rain or sunshine, we are going to be rolling.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much for that answer, very comprehensive. Now I'm gonna ask something a little lighter. Do you remember, Leon, when you lost your first tooth?
Wow. I'm not sure if that's something I'd want to remember, but I think I do actually believe I do remember.
You do?
Yeah, of course.
Did you lose it just naturally, or did somebody?
Somebody smack you.
No, it was, during some sporting contact.
I was gonna say,
You
because
know,
you seem so competitive. I'm
right.
thinking like you might have lost it in a.
Back in the day, we were very competitive, playing sports, Sometimes your mom says, stay in the house. But you find yourself on the outside playing basketball, playing some sort of sports, and, little elbow won't hurt, and you just lose a tooth. It's,
Tough time.
yeah, it's a
time.
sad time to remember, but
Okay. I'm going to ask another question to you, Steve. Who gave you the best advice before you entered elective politics, and what was the advice? Before you entered politics?
I don't think I want to share it, you know.
You don't?
There was a former premier of St. Kitts, Limo, and I used to have some very good conversation with him, and he used to give me some very good advice. But one day he told me he had planned to leave politics, but I was at university and he wanted me to replace him. So I told him I prefer that I finish university first. And that was before he really handed over the leadership to Dr. Douglas. I think he was contemplating leaving. And he said to me, what I would want you to take from me is to understand that if ever you do enter politics, make sure you stay close to the women, because the women will control the men, and they will help you to win the
That was
election.
good advice.
Right? And
Bless
so,
you, Lee rest in peace.
and
That
so
was
as
excellent advice.
I go through canvassing, I've come to the realization the women are the dominant factor in terms of determination of the election in constituency number 4. I've seen it. And so I'm going to use that to ensure that number 4 is returned to the Labour Party.
And Steve, I just want to say that Steve really took that advice. He really took that advice. I will say nothing else about that, but Steve took the advice.
Steve took it. That's good. I'm proud. Since you have so much chat, let me give you a hard question.
Oh, wow.
More than ever, we need to go back to agriculture as a response to COVID. What are your plans to revamp the agricultural sector? I don't want to give too much because, like the comrade leader said, we don't want it to go into somebody else's manifesto. But what are your plans to revamp the agricultural sector and engage and empower farmers and fisherfolk?
Right. The agricultural sector has, especially during the time of COVID, have demonstrated to us how critical it is for our, in terms of our food security. Especially on the eastern side, where I keep saying from St. Peter's to Capistia Farm in St. Paul's. We call that the sugar belt, really. That's the largest part of farming in St. Kitts. And I think that the people of St. Kitts have, during this last 5-6 months, have really seen demonstration by myself and Dr. Joe to enhance and to pay particular attention to farming in St. Kitts and Nevis. So it's a combination of things. We have to make sure that we have the resources here to expand farming. I think we are very good at putting something in the soil, watch it nurture, become something, and sell that product. We are very good at harnessing our livestock and making good on those. But is it enough? Is it enough to say that we satisfy the needs and wants of the people in St. Kitts? And it's not. So we have to take a strategic approach, how we manage the resources of the agriculture department and ensure that our farmers are given the grants and the necessary facilities that they need to improve the farming. That's the first step. Then we also have to change the culture or the perception of how the business of farming is done. I think we often emphasize on the the natural farming perspective of it, but we have to look at where we can make farmers look in giving the perception that that farming is also a business, and people can look up to them outside of wanting to be a lawyer, wanting to be a doctor, wanting to be something of that sort, but look to be a farmer, that a farming can bring you success in life. And so once we do that and a combination of other things, finding new markets to send our products to, whether it's the regional market and so on, we can go into tourism, agro-tourism. That is a new facet that we can go into to raise the food security level in St. Kitts Nevis. Where farmers can benefit financially, but I think the business of farming has to be a critical element where farmers are seen to be breadwinners, where they have to compete with being lawyers, doctors, and so on. We need to have new energy going into farming. I think the Labour Party did a wonderful job in its last administration to bring new techniques in agriculture, like hydroponics and of that sort. But we have to take it further. We have to demonstrate to the people of St. Kitts Nevis, demonstrate to the youths that there's no reason that you can't go into farming, because you will be successful. And that's where you have to start, fundamentally on the ground with the perception of farming.
Great. Thank you very much. That was a good answer.
Thank you. Points? Let's move on.
You know where you're going to get those points from?
Where?
The farmers.
Okay, nice. Lovely.
Remember, at home, you're keeping score. You're going to decide which candidate you think answered your questions best this evening, including Julie's segment and my segment. And we're going to move on to the next question. And this question.
Before you go on, I think Nata made a good point.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think he did not include, we have to give incentives for households to do backyard gardening, backyard farming, because that can also help the food security. You see how when we were locked down and no ships could have come, how we were so dependent on those things coming in from overseas. If you give some incentive for, we have backyard gardening. And I was at some country when somebody was showing me just taking a bucket and just growing things in pots and so on. I mean, things that they eat, right? So if we can, have a holistic approach to farmers and the household and so on, we could have a very good, productive country of St. Kitts Nevis. But we must bring, as Nata said, a holistic approach where our people will be given incentives, and they would also show we have a more healthy lifestyle. And the next gen is going to do it.
Yes. And reduce the costs and mental health costs. And I understand what you're saying. I know some communities that have their own gardens, but I'm looking forward to the support from government. What was a moment, this question is for you, comrade leader. I don't want you to get emotional, but the question is about being emotional. What was a moment in your campaign that has made you cry or feel emotional? This is like TV, because I've never seen the comrade leader cry.
I want Kenny to answer that.
Kenny's got his own question coming. Hold it. One in your, do you have a moment when Kenny cried? It's because you know a story, that's why.
I know.
He was waiting for the story too.
Come on.
Right. I would want to refer to, and that's why I was waiting, because to a large extent, I heard Kenny almost answering a similar question to the experience I had. And that was during the distribution of the care packages. This is a young man in Sadler's on the project. I hope he's not going to be revealed if I say that he works, or we used to work, I would say, at the what used to be called the Jacta, no, the Royal St. Kitts Hotel. I usually, on a morning when I'm passing through that area, maybe going to the Marriott or coming back from the Marriott, he was always shout me. He was working at the plaza where Rams and the other restaurants are. there on the strip going down to the boulevard. And always shouted at me. Obviously, I thought this was a very, very strong supporter, but did not really know exactly where he was from. And this day, I was going through, it was a lockdown day too. I was going through with permission of the police and distributing care packages. I don't know if you remember seeing a picture, a photograph, where I am presenting something to this young man, and he's, both of us, bowing to each other. I didn't realize that he was so affected by the pandemic that he was home for several weeks. Lost his job. I think he was like a cleaner. I met him at his home. He had had a low-income home, an NEC-built house. And he was so grateful when I made the presentation to him. But what really struck me was that I had never really knew who he was. But we said every morning we greeted each other. And I said sometimes in life you would never know who people are, because he was always happy, shouting, hailed me, no matter what he was doing, stopped, made sure he said hello to me. And this was this gentleman so much affected by what had happened, had become almost a totally different person. The sadness in his face, his whole demeanor was changed. When I came to his house and I realized, I said, "Here's where you live?" He said, "Yes." People would never understand how much life has been changed for so many thousands of people. We take it for granted, but a lot of people would have been thrown into poverty. Only God knows when people like him would have the opportunity to be working again, because he's not a young man. In fact, if there's going to be a selection of persons who would be called back to work, he would not be of the first batch. And so for him, the suffering, the pain, the dislocation would continue. I want to use this opportunity and ask that we pray for those persons who have been so severely affected that only God knows what will be the end result. I trust to God that they would continue to have hope and hold on to their faith, that people would recognize that even though it may appear to have been very simple, again, I want to commend the Honorable Marcella Althea Liebert for the thoughtfulness, for recognizing the pain and agony that so many of our people are going through at this time, and was therefore moved to ask us all, together with Kenny here, not Kenny, Steve here, and Jeffrey, who is not here, to let us start up something to help these people. And there was born the Next Gen SKN CARES initiative. Again, I say, I don't think we understand how many people are out there suffering and how much they are looking forward for us as a government, Next Gen government, to really bring relief bring relief. That is what people are hoping for. That is why they will change this government. They have lost hope because the government, despite the 120 or 160 million dollars of stimulus package, it has not got down to the people who really matter, not even to the businessmen who really matter and who we will depend upon to really revive and return this economy to where it should be. Let us remember them all.
Thank you. And I'll have you know that since this is our show, I could stop where I want and Ducky gets the last word. Sorry. But it was such a good one. So you've joined us for 2 segments now. You joined us for the true or false segment. Is that true, that propaganda? You joined us for life, fishing for answers, and I'm sure you got a lot of answers. And we will be back briefly after this break as we conclude the show, getting some questions and responses and commenting on your comments live here with the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Well done.
Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it. I attended this school, the Bastia High School, but I'm very hurt with what's happening right now at my school, the Bastia High School. Look at this. Can this be right? All of our documents wasted. Look at how this building look. Our students' lives would have gone down the drain. Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it.
The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are read and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you.
Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it. I attended this school, the Bastia High School, but I'm very hurt with what's happening right now at my school, the Bastia High School. Look at this. Can this be right? All of our documents wasted. Look at how this building look. Our students' lives would have gone down the drain. Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it.
Let us look at the candidate for constituency number 1, Dr. Hanley. He's a people's person. He's younger. He's stronger. He has been one of the community builders in constituency number 1. He can reach out to people. He's a servant of the people. From the people on the Southeast Peninsula to the people in Frigate Bay
to the people in the entire constituency. Dr. Jeffrey Hanley is a people's person. He'll respond to the people's needs and will represent them well in Parliament.
Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it. I attended this school, the Bastia High School, but I'm very hurt with what's happening right now at my school, the Bastia High School. Look at this.
We are back.
Let me tell you, while I was off camera, I was on your live, looking at all your comments and taking a note of who you thought was the winner. Now, let me put this disclaimer in. We had absolutely nothing to do with who I am going to announce is the winner. So nobody said, they cheat! Nah. You decided that. And the winner is...
Constituency number 5.
Drum roll.
Thank you.
His Excellency
Kenny Douglas.
Steve Ransford! Yay! He was out the gate first. He put his hands together. Hey! Woo! There you go.
Congrats, Kenny.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We have a great comment here. This one's my favorite. Somebody said all 8-1.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can we get a recount of those votes, please?
So,
Yeah, we need a recount of the votes. Make
we're
sure that
asking
everything
for
is
a recount here. But
The call was so far ahead. Recount doesn't make any sense.
We got a fan here says
So
Steve
like
Ray.
Not close.
Okay.
Kenny was close.
That's why I tell you, the tag team, you know.
They're tagging
The
you.
tag team.
I believe now.
Yeah.
His
4 and
Excellency,
5.
His Excellency.
That was going on.
4 and 5.
Don't let him happen. Don't let
No
him happen.
time.
No. And I
Well,
want
I
you
have-
to know, even though Steve won, you shouldn't feel bad. He also got the brunt of great comments. We got some good
Oh, you
ones.
just
We
rubbing
got
it in now.
yes, we got some. I love Dougie bad, but Steve just became my new love.
Oh, what?
What? I never seen that before.
That's from a female?
When they didn't understand math in school. I think this might be your niece, Steve. Did you teach your niece maths in school? She said she used to call her uncle. Yes, she threw in a comment there. There we go, another one. Then we got some comments during our true and false segments. We got labor is best for SKN. True.
True.
They made their own game at home. Unity is a farce. True.
True.
Grant and Powell are thieves. True.
True.
All 8, hopefully for St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party.
True.
You guys should have wrote this game. All right. And what else do we have here live? Let's see. Naima, can you ask Kenny Douglas to give us one reason we should vote for him?
All right.
Wow, we need better representation in constituency number 5.
There you go.
That's one. I can go and give you 1 million. We need a representative who will be always there for the people of Sandy Point, not someone who will wait until election day or election is coming around to come and bribe the people, try to give them this and give them that to vote for him, to put him in there. We need someone who will represent Sandy Point, Figchilla Valley, constituency number 5, all 5 years around. Those are 2 reasons why you should vote for Kenny Douglas. Kenny Douglas will make Sandy Point great again. Kenny Douglas will provide better in education, better in health, better in agriculture, better in manufacturing. Kenny Douglas will make Sandy Point people very, very proud.
I say the answer to that is true.
True.
True, true, true.
You should have been a television personality.
I think so too.
I would say that the host tonight, Naima
And Julie?
and Julie, they look absolutely beautiful. Answer is
True.
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 We're not giving you any extra points for that.
No extra points, but you can throw out a shout out for Young Labor who produced this segment.
Shout out to Young Labor. Did a
Shout
wonderful
out to
job.
Young Labor,
Awesome job.
Part of the
That's
next gen
also true.
team.
part of the next gen team.
We can see where our future is headed. Our future is better with the next gen Young Labor.
That's right.
Good job.
Good job indeed.
Good job. good job.
Wonderful. And we thank all of you for joining us this evening.
We do.
Of course, we know what's coming up tomorrow, the big launch of the manifesto. Are you guys ready and ready?
Red and
Red
ready.
and ready.
Wow. See what you missed? You see what you missed? They were like that. They were on fire. And we know that Labor is red and ready. Are you ready for the manifesto and the plans Labor Party has for your future here in St. Kitts Nevis? We know you will be, and we'll see you back with us tomorrow evening. Thank you for joining me this evening, Julie.
You're most welcome, my
I
darling.
appreciate you. Thank you to all the candidates. We like
Thank
to
you.
shout out the candidates who got a break this evening,
They did.
and we let them stay home. And we also want to remind everybody, as Dr. Douglas said, just to continue to pray for peace in our land and for free and fair elections. Thank you for joining us this evening. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're coming in stronger than ever. 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 Yeah. Stand up. We're coming in stronger than ever. We're coming in stronger than ever. Everybody start jumping till Labour, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour. Army is a nation of red, 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 red. A battalion of red, 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 red.
Bastia High School. But I'm very hurt with what's happening right now at my school, the Bastia.
Stand up and shine bright.
Look at
And I have a message.
Can this be right? All of our documents wasted. Look at how this building look. Our students' lives would have gone down the drain. Totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it.
Let us look at the candidate for constituency number 1, Dr. Hanley. He's a people's person. He's younger. He's stronger. He has been one of the community builders in constituency number 1. He can reach out to people. He's a servant of the people. From the people on the Southeast Peninsula, to the people in Frigate Bay, to the people in the entire constituency, Dr. Jeffrey Hanley is a people's person. Will respond to the people's needs and will represent them well in Parliament.
totally unacceptable. This is wrong. This needs to be fixed, and Labour will fix it.
Stand up! Hey, we coming in stronger than ever. We coming in stronger than ever. Yeah, I said, fall in a row. Everybody start jumping till Labour, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army is a nation of red, 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 red. Stand up! Hey.
The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party presents its Next Gen SKN Grand Virtual Manifesto launch on Friday, May 29th at 8 p.m. Don't miss out on the opportunity to see the great plans in store for you as we unveil our manifesto app. Your Next Gen SKN candidates are read and ready to share with you. Tune in to our party's Facebook page, YouTube, KISS 102.5 FM and Freedom 106.5 FM as we bring this to you live. It's all about you.
Stand up! Hey, Labour, Labour, hey, hey. We coming in stronger than ever. We coming in stronger than ever. Yeah, I said, fall in a row. Everybody start jumping till Labour, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army is a nation of red, 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 red. Stand up! Hey, Labour, Labour, hey, hey. We coming in stronger than ever. We coming in stronger than ever. Yeah, I said, fall in a row. Everybody start jumping till Labour, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army, till Labour, till Labour, till Labour army is a nation of red.